Good morning, beautiful people, and thank you so much for joining us on this fresh edition of The Brief, live on My Media Prime Television, a program where we always get to dig several layers beneath the major headlines as captured by newspapers. And of course, it's the very first edition for the week, and we are always here to keep you company with what the newspapers are saying in the country. On today's edition of the program, the newspapers are focusing on the arson attack on the hospital or Manthe District Hospital in Manu Division of the southwest region of the country. We shall tell you more on the measures taken by government to remedy the situation of patients in that part of the country, and equally condemnations pouring in as a result of the arson attack, as evidence are already pointing or showing that separatist fighters are the one that carried out the attack. We shall tell you more as many newspapers are telling us this morning. With us in the studio this morning for the next 1 hour, we shall have Charles Kebua, who is My Media Prime Northwest Regional Bureau Chief. He's with us this morning and is happy, telling us that his traditional ruler, his Igwe, was released from amber captivity yesterday and is currently receiving medical attention at the Womb District Hospital in the northwest region of the country. Mbane Evis, who is the National Communications Secretary to the Popular Action Party, is equally joining me this morning from the nation's political capital, Yaoundé. Let's find out what Etape Kante gather for us in the French language newspapers. Bonjour Etape.
Bonjour Lasha. La presse écrite a varié ses titres. Aujourd'hui, l'on parle de la politique qui nous renseigne évidemment sur l'interpellation du président français Emmanuel Macron par le militant du MRC, Wilfried Ekanga, le 8 juin dernier, lors de sa visite en région parisienne. Bonjour mesdames et messieurs, bonjour à tous, bienvenue dans cette grande revue des unes de votre programme bilingue débrief. Première édition de cette semaine. Nous sommes le lundi 13 juin 2022. Commençons très rapidement avec le journal Meo Messala qui titre en sa grande une « Crise dans le Nozo, attention, les Zambaboy ont jeté leur dévolu sur la région de l'Ouest ». Les Zambaboy, comme nous l'indique ce journal, ont jeté leur dévolu sur la région de l'Ouest dans leur visée expansionniste. Ils y mènent de nouvelles attaques pour généraliser la psychose. D'après nos confrères, l'installation de base dans la plus petite région du Cameroun leur ouvrira les portes du siège des institutions de la République. Une information à retrouver dans les colonnes des pages 6 à 7 de ce journal présent en kiosque ce matin. Fermons ce tabloïd pour ouvrir la nouvelle expression qui parle de la transition politique et consacre à sa grande une. Macron fait paniquer Yaoundé si l'on s'en tient aux écrits de ce journal. Le régime de son excellence Paul Biya accorde beaucoup d'attention aux propos du président de la France, interpellé au hasard par Wilfried Ekanga du MRC sur la question ou bien sur la situation sociopolitique du Cameroun. Le 8 juin dernier, lors de sa visite en région parisienne, le locataire de l'Élysée a accordé sa réaction qui a poussé le gouvernement camerounais à répliquer par un communiqué du ministre de la Communication, René Emmanuel Sadi, vendredi passé, dans lequel il désapprouve l'état de la situation sociopolitique évoqué dans l'échange des deux interlocuteurs en France. Pour nos confrères, au regard de ce fait, une fébrilité a étourdi, trahi la panique dans le sérail. Une information à retrouver en page 4 de ce journal présent en kiosque ce matin. Parlons à présent économique, naturellement avec le journal Économie qui évoque en grand titre le problème de la sécurité routière, les voies qui restent à exploiter, des pertes en vies humaines. Le mal-être de l'économie nationale sont causés par les fréquents accidents sur les axes routiers, ces derniers temps. C'est inquiétant. D'après le journal de Thierry Ekouti, des actions sont menées par les pouvoirs publics pour stopper la saignée, mais beaucoup reste à faire. En tout cas, ces actions sont à découvrir dans les colonnes des pages 6 et 7 de ce numéro en kiosque ce matin. Terminons en sport avec le reporter. Qualification des Lions indomptables au Qatar. Une odeur de détournement. C'est du moins la rhétorique que le journal met en sa grande une ce matin dans son développement. Plus loin, en page 10, le tabloïd de Raymond Mekamba explique que les Lions du Cameroun n'auraient pas encore perçu cette prime spéciale du président de la République, son Excellence Paul Biya, qui a depuis donné son accord aux responsables du ministère du Sport. Mesdames et messieurs, fin et stop pour la revue des unes en langue française. Place actuellement à la découverte des autres tabloïds en langue anglaise. Avec toi, Lasha, qui une fois de plus, bonjour.
Bonjour, for the please Etape Kante. Good morning once again, televiewers of my media prime television. You are watching the brief and its newspapers, and we are beginning this morning with the Lone English Daily, the Guardian Post newspaper, which is focusing on the arson attack on the Manthe District Hospital in the southwest region of the country. After arson attack on hospital, Manthe population stages protest against the growing amber atrocities in their community. UN Doctors Without Borders condemn, demand investigation, punishment for perpetrators of the said act. You can read more on pages 1 through 4 of this edition of the Guardian Post newspaper. The Guardian Post is also talking about security. A meeting in Limbeck where Minad boss Paul Atanganji has ordered administrators to stop sale of CDC and Pamo lands. You can read more on page 9 of this edition of the Guardian Post newspaper. And the Guardian Post is also telling us that in the east region of the country, at least 5 persons have died and 8 others injured in Baturi mine collapse. You can read more on page 3 of this edition of the said newspaper, talking about the 5 persons who have died and the 8 others injured in the collapse of the land or Baturi mine in that part of the country. And the Customs Department, we are told by the paper that the custom to generate 82.4 billion francs CFA in June. And the Customs Department, according to the paper, is expected to generate this sum of money as reviewed to the state or revenue to the state of the country for the month of June 2022. The information is contained in a note from the Director General of Customs, Fongot Edwin Nuvuga, as we are told, and it focuses on customs revenue in 2022, and the sum of 82.4 billion francs CFA will be mobilized by 12 sectors in June only. More details in this edition of the Guardian Post newspaper. On to municipal updates. Municipal updates newspaper is interested in what the Ambazonians are doing by photoshopping newspapers' front pages to propagate their false hood. You can read more on the anger of Municipal Updates newspaper when it comes to what the Ambazonians are doing, as Municipal Updates is not the first newspaper to have been photoshopped by Ambazonian. This comes to add to the Guardian Post and many other newspapers that have been photoshopped by suspected Ambazonians leaders based abroad to propagate their falsehood. And equally in Municipal Updates newspaper, a star building audience, PM and Bishop's conference boss review peace footprint. His Grace Andrew Nkeya, who is the president of the National Episcopal Conference of Cameroon, was at the star building recently, where both statesmen talked on issues of peace, as Municipal Updates newspaper is telling us this morning. On to the median. The median newspaper this morning is also interested in the arson attack on the Manthe District Hospital in Manyu Division of the Southwest region. Manyu denizens in utter shock and disbelief, writes the median newspaper. Victor Mengot rallies a political think tank to brainstorm on the way forward, and elites plan mass visit to Manthe to secure or to give a helping hand to victims of the arson, as well as stand up against the Ambazonia atrocities in that part of the country. We end with the Horizon newspaper. The Horizon this morning is questioning who burnt down the Mamfe District Hospital. War without win and end, writes the Horizon newspaper. You can read more on reactions coming in, especially that of the regional president for the Littoral region, talking about SDF Littoral Regional President Jean-Michel Ninche, who is urging the government to investigate and bring to book perpetrators of the arson attack. And the Donga Mountain Family Agro-Pastoral Farms beneficiaries share best practices. You can read more in this edition of the Horizon newspaper. Thank you for watching, televiewers of My Media Prime Television. We are back in the studio to continue with our discussions this morning. Like I told you in my introduction, Charles Kebua is with me in the studio. He is the regional bureau chief of My Media Prime Television, and he's just telling us that his traditional ruler has been released from amber captivity. The phone of Wazoo, if I got the village correctly, he was kidnapped 27 days ago and was released yesterday, and he is currently receiving medical attention at the Womb District Hospital in Menchum Division of the Northwest Region. Charles Kebua, good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Morning to Cameroonians viewing us live from Fengudong, Bangi. I know those of you who saw me yesterday will be surprised how I managed to have been here in the studio. But just to say, it's all the work of the Lord. You know, He's always there to take you go, and He's also there to take you come back. Good morning, Cameroonians.
Bane Elvis, good morning also, and thank you for joining me this morning.
Good morning, Mr. Lasha, and good morning to all those who are with you back there in the studio. It's a bright morning again, and it's a pleasure to be on your platform.
Okay, we'll come back to you. Let's begin with Charles Kebua, who is telling us that his traditional ruler has been released from amber captivity. Charles Kebua, how did you receive the news?
It was actually a news with joy. You know, when the Lord leads the way, it's all to say thank you, Lord. My phone, the phone of Wazo, His Majesty Ndo Martin himself, was taken into captivity from his palace, 26 days inside captivity, and like prayers, like people will cry, all of us, we were with our back at the wall, waiting just for the last kick. And since we could not kick the right way, the people, they themselves thought about that. No, keeping the phone in captivity is sacred, actually a big sacrilege that they have done to that clan. And the phone was brought back on Sunday, breaking Sunday.
Did the population actually march to Amber Camp, or they gave some warning to the Ambazonians?
Well, you should know the way this thing operates. It operates in so many fronts. Prayer work. Chakumcha also has its own way in which people also cry. The gods are there also watching. Those who have no voice, somewhere along the line, they have the voice, sometimes they talk. And all of it is just to say we cry in the hills. And when it comes that somebody is taken, like I'm saying, it may be you tomorrow, it may be me. It becomes something, so disturbing.
So what is the situation on the ground? You are coming from Bamenda, and even from you were in your village where, some 9 civilians were shot and killed by the army, as the army reviewed and claimed responsibility.
It's an unfortunate situation, because every day you get up, you hear gunshots. Every day you get up, somebody is dead. Every day you get up, be it a number, or be it the military, or be it a civilian, they die. And all of it is that we're losing Cameroonians. We're actually losing Cameroonians. It's not a matter of us keep hammering to say, amber, no, or military, no. It's high time, like God sent children to say, let's put an end to this. It's so disturbing. Let's say it honestly, Lasha.
Elvis, if you are there, I just want to find out from you, like the Horizon newspaper is questioning this morning, who burnt down the Mamfe District Hospital?
Mr. Lasha, it is a question I would say is too early for one to give any answer to that with exactitude, because we know the past belligerents have been responsible for such acts of arson. So as of now, not until some thorough investigations are carried out, one can say with exactly who actually burnt hospital.
But some people and newspapers, some newspapers are already attributing it to Ambazonia. They say the Ambazonians are the ones that burnt down the hospital.
Well, like I say, for those who say they are the Ambazonians, if they have fact, it's good and fine. Like I said, for me, people say so because, like I say, in the book, the military and the armed guys have been seen taking such acts of action before. So I carry me to declare to think that the Ambazonians did it. Maybe they have the fact also, because like I say, we have seen the Ambazonians tonight that they didn't do it. The military, the other hand is fighters. So one cannot say with who actually did Mr. Lasha.
Okay, I will come back to you. Apparently these days your gadgets, so I don't know what is happening with your lines. They never used to be this way. Anyway, we'll sort that out, Avis. I stay with Charles Kebua. Charles Kebua, the founder of Bambalang, the Northwest House of Chiefs president, is still in captivity. Nobody is saying anything. Nobody has issued any statement. I mean, from his own office, not even his boss. Do you have hope that one day he will be released like Yafo?
If the fun of Wazo is back, I still have the conviction that the fun of Bambalang, who is the president of the Northwest Funds Union, House of Chiefs, will be back. I have the conviction. Because as of moment, we know some are gone and they've never come back.
A high-profile personality like that one, taken away, the government is not issuing any statement. We've not heard whether the military has launched, manhunt or whatever to bring down those who kidnapped him or look for the phone. Everybody is quiet. Does it mean that, we have some Cameroonians who are more Cameroonians than others?
We may take it that way, but in another sort, I don't look at it that way, because we are always been told that government machinery works, it grinds slowly and steadily. It's 6 months, really,
yes,
quite long. But I want to believe, just like tracking, we learned of recent the release of a senator. It is collaboration from the community to alert the military to understand that this is what is happening, and the senator
so
was
that
brought.
The people of Ngokitunja are not collaborating?
I will really honestly say there is no collaboration, because in Ngokitunja, let us be honest, it's difficult for you to carry out project anywhere in that division. And we turn to ask, is it that Ngokitunja has carried the crisis on its head, that you cannot leave Mankon to go to Kumbo because of Ngokitunja, the warriors, northwest, southeast of that division? We say no. Sometime along the line, I think when there is war, yes, we are really in war. We all have accepted that we are in war. But somewhere along when we are in war, we need to sit up and also know what, the laws entitled for, war should be brought in. Look at the last incident in Manfe, burning down a hospital. You are at war. If tomorrow you are shot, where do you go to for medical assistance? Take it even that, no, you are not even, you will not be shot. Your brother may be sick tomorrow. Where do you want him? If you are in the bush and your brother is in town, it is something, let's be honest to say, people need this time to collaborate to put an end to all of this. Let's be honest. I don't feel happy myself because it's difficult for me to also operate. Likewise, you outside there, or even those who are feeding fat, because what we have realized is that there are some persons that are feeding fat out of this, crisis, and they keep fanning it. We do everything to say it. The press has written. Journalists have been crying every day that we need peace, we need peace. Let the peace come. But we find it that there are some persons who are feeding fat. They make ends meet. You cannot imagine that today you get up, there is peace. Tomorrow, the next day, you get it, boom, 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 boom. At the end of it, who has been killed? Nobody is telling us who has been killed. Oh, you will hear Amba has been killed, military has been killed. Who is losing soul? Cameroonians. It's high time we say an end to this and people come back to reason.
So the problem now is how? How is the problem?
The people need to sit and collaborate. It's high time for people to sit up.
We've seen collaboration in some communities that finally took some people's heads.
Yeah, we know it very well. That is why we say the devil is at work in the country and we need to sit and pray, go fasting seriously in this country. We need it. Because let us be honest, we say people pray. I don't think Cameroonians do pray. Because the very time you say you are on your knees, the very time you are the one again sponsoring things to go there, who are we praying to? Is it the real God or the gods of the devil?
Mais est-ce que la population peut accepter véritablement collaborer avec l'armée camerounaise? Est-ce que c'est possible?
It is possible. If you go to some communities, they don't want to stay apart 10 meters from the military. It already tells you they are ready to collaborate with the military. Because of the excesses of, the so-called non-state armed men. You cannot imagine a community, you come and see an old man who stays with you in one quarter and you seize his vehicle and take it along. What do you expect the population to do?
Est-ce que ces populations n'ont pas peur des représailles de ces Zambaboy?
We know there is fear. There is nobody whom, if the other opposite partner carries a gun, you will not be afraid. But it is high time also that people also sit up to say, we can carry sticks. Let me tell you something. It is simple to bring an end to this. People are carrying guns. Yes. Let's sit and dialogue with them. Why always keep this issue of dialogue apart, that it's only one part that will dialogue and the other one is left out?
We saw one politician who went and gave 450,000 to families that lost loved ones in womb.
Yeah.
Sometimes these politicians have been accused of fanning the crisis behind closed doors.
True. Well, some may be doing so, but this particular politician that you are saying, let me use this avenue to thank him, because it came from his widow's heart. It is not even his constituency, though in that same division.
He has micro project money.
It is so that we don't take it micro. For me, I don't look at it. How much is micro grant? As an individual, micro grant is 8 million. And then he takes 450,000 out of it to assist some people, and you say it's micro grant. That is free will, and that is something that Cameroonians need to pick up and say, no, it's high time for us to be collaborative. If you have a problem, this man has a problem, why not us collaborate and see how from the bottom of our heart we do free will and we keep things going.
Elvis, you listen to Charles Kebua talking about the situation in the northwest and southwest. How the population is not collaborating in certain divisions with the military or sharing intelligence information with the government and the military. Elvis, are you there? Apparently Elvis. Yes, Elvis, I was asking if you listened to Charles Kebua spoke, talking about lack of collaboration between the military, the population, and the military sharing intelligence information with the government and military. That has led to what we are seeing in other divisions. Apparently, we'll come back to Elvis Charles Kebua. Move on with what we were talking about, and a newspaper is telling us this morning that evidence. I think the media newspaper is saying that there are clear evidence, that facts pointing accusing fingers to the Ambazonia fighters having burned down the Manfe hospital.
Honestly, it's a sad incident.
The question many people are asking is that for over 3 hours or so, where were the military officers as well as security officers? Where patients were removed from the hospital?
Is this not the same thing I said when we look at this thing to be a game? Because you cannot imagine in most of the best areas in our cities where we have the Anglophone crisis, the military, they are there to make sure they protect properties.
Does it mean that nobody, no locals
And
around
so
that
it
area could give information to the military that the hospital was being burnt?
But that is a hospital. That is a hospital that
leaving the
normally
patients, everybody taken out of it.
that is a hospital where normally there was supposed to be a patrol 24 on 24 around that vicinity. Just like a church area, just like the governor's office, just like the SDO's resident, also, etc., etc. And then you don't permit, you give loophole.
The question is the time that it took.
That is what I'm saying. That they have given, they gave.
Does it mean that there was no security information, or there was nobody around that could inform the military that the hospital was being burnt?
There had been collaboration in different areas between the military and the population to ensure that the crackdown ills. What was wrong with that of Kumba, that Manfe, that today we're crying? It tells you that something is fidgeting somewhere, and unless we will know the truth, then we shall now say the truth.
Maintenant, qu'est-ce qui explique? Parce qu'on ne voit pas réellement l'implication de la population dans la dénonciation de ces ambaboys dans leur exaction. Maintenant, est-ce qu'il y aurait une frange de la population ou bien une petite partie de la population qui collaborerait avec ces séparatistes?
The population, let me be honest with you, don't feel fine in the hands of the Amber Boys. Yesterday, they were, but today, I will tell you they aren't. Why am I saying so? You've seen on some areas, even in Malfi now, yesterday you saw the population came out to denounce what has been done. That's burning down their district hospital. It tells you that it's a new wave that is coming into the hearts of, and minds of people to cease off, you know, the atrocities that the Amber Boys are doing, because they have exceeded, let's be honest, they have exceeded what many people thought of is not what they see today. And you cannot imagine, many have fled their homes. People are dying every day.
Bon, comment peut-on donc qualifier cela, les hôpitaux qui sont incendiés, les écoles également,
les civils
qui sont tués? Est-ce qu'on peut classer ce genre d'actes dans le registre des actes criminels de guerre?
Yes, yes. That's why we say they have exceeded now. They've exceeded so much till they don't even know the rules of when it comes war. We have certain
leaders. They have leaders abroad. The people who say they are their leaders and they are so-called doctors. Why are the doctors not telling them about the Geneva Convention, war, rules of war, international humanitarian law, and whatever? Why are those doctors not telling them?
The truth.
Or are we saying that the doctors are not in control of the boys on the ground?
The truth in what we who report on the field we've realized is that those who are presently, the non-state armed men who are presently carrying guns, most of them no more again listen to those who are from the diaspora. Yesterday they did, but today it's a change.
So who are those people in the diaspora representing now?
They know themselves, and they've been doing it in the past, and they brought a lot of atrocities where today it has turned to thievery. I call it thievery, because you cannot imagine you come pick your brother and you demand ransom. With all this, is that the war we were crying, or is that the change? Or will that bring the change?
Let us talk a bit about the release of Senator Mamundi recently, and some of those guys came and they were crying that they lost over 80 million that was supposed to be paid to them in ransom.
So if you look, that's why we say, if you look at it, it's a lot of manipulation in the whole thing, let's be honest.
Some are saying the military rescued Mamundi, some are saying some ransom were paid, you know, at the end of the day.
To the best of my knowledge as a reporter, nothing was paid as ransom. Yeah, nothing was paid as ransom to release Mamundi. We call her as the senator. The sincere part of it is that there was a collaboration between the people of Asham and the military, And that is what gave the leeway where by the time the military made their operation into that camp, fortunately, Ma came out.
D'accord, c'est clair. La crise est en train de se déporter du Nozo vers la région de l'Ouest. Comment comprendre cela? C'est pour généraliser la psychose?
That is where sometimes we see ourselves, it becomes so confusive because we know it's the Anglophone crisis.
Oui.
And when we see the Anglophone crisis now, like moving from the Anglophone zone and moving over to La République zone, then one begins to wonder what is coming for Cameroon tomorrow.
Charles Kebua, you've been reporting from day one of this crisis, when it was just simple protests, right up to where we are. With the rich experience and the reports that you've carried out, the places that you have visited, what do you think is the solution to this problem?
People need to collaborate and bring back their peace.
D'accord.
It is
not appointing or pointing fingers to the government, that the government has to call for dialogue, this and that.
The dialogue will come, but the dialogue must first start from home. If the father of the house cannot sit with his children for dialogue, it becomes very difficult for those children to also go out and dialogue with others.
How do you sit with people who are in the bushes?
No,
how do you get them?
Please listen. He or she who is in the bush is not actually comfortable where he or she is also. Let me tell you, if you meet any of them, he will tell you, I am not happy. And that is why the government himself also look at the DDR to be a comfort and a safe place for them to live and come. But at the same time, somewhere along the line, they sit and say it's not comfortable. We all are saying that to regain peace, we need, you and I, Anglophones, need to unite and talk one language.
How do you tell somebody who says he wants a separate state from the Republic of Cameroon?
Look,
somebody who is carrying a gun, whose language is only Ambazonian Republic, nothing.
It is the same language me I'm talking now. Me, I'm an Englishman. I'm not a Francophone, but I'm a Cameroonian. So it is as simple as when each time we sit, we need to know that the mother tongue has something. We all are striving for one thing, the place and pride of the Englishman. But if the system itself does not want to believe and the people hesitate, it's high time also for the state to sit up and know that my children have, there is a problem. And get to the student and you solve the problem.
D'accord. Dans l'actualité, on parle également de l'interpellation du président français Emmanuel Macron par le militant du MRC en France le 8 juin dernier, et ça fait jaser sur la toile. Il paraît les propos qui ont été utilisés entre ces échanges n'ont pas plu au gouvernement camerounais, et il a tenu à rappeler que la situation socio-politique au Cameroun n'est pas reprochable, ne souffle de rien parce que la démocratie y règne dans le pays. Comment avez-vous reçu cette information?
Bring true democracy in Africa, stop colonialization, allow the people, they themselves, to take frank and good decisions that will help them move forward and build a good nation will be the best. But if we keep more on colonization, we will maintain all
saying that
crime.
A president has to sit somewhere in Europe, or a Cameroonian, somebody who is a Cameroonian, has to take Cameroon's problem to a foreign president, and he was insisting that Cameroon is a dictator, his government is a dictator, trying to call the attention of or mislead Emmanuel Macron to, like, giving lectures to President Paul Biya. Are you saying that Cameroonians should do that?
Sir, I have come back again to tell you that the Anglophone problem is a problem. And it is because of colonialization that has made this problem to where it is.
So France is the one ruling Cameroon? Are you saying like many other people?
Cameroon, let's be honest, we know that it is not us ruling this country, that we have our grandfather out there ruling this country. And unless that one will be cut off,
How do we
we'll have
cut it?
peace.
How do we cut it off?
No, look, come back home. We must build back from home. We must build back from home. Let La Republique and the Southern Cameroons get back to what yesterday they were and make Cameroon a better
So
place.
it means that if the colonial masters, they don't want us to solve our problems, we as Cameroonians cannot solve our problems?
We are saying that they should leave Africa alone for Africa to develop.
But we Africans, we are running to them. When you have a small problem, you go for mosquito nets.
No, that's all.
You go for grants.
It
you go for money, you borrow money, and then steal and take.
It comes back to those that feed fat. Let me tell you, I have somebody at City Chemist there, they call him Senator, popularly called. He gets up early in the morning, he is sure to come and, displace just only 1,000, and he is sure that by the end of the day, he takes 500, he's contented. But if each day when he comes and you are telling him that this man will reach Libya, pass through West before stand in Yaoundé or Douala before he meets him in City Chemist, it becomes a problem. That is why we are saying that permit the people take a decision for themselves and build up their own country, and people will take the floor.
We are showing to the Western world that we are not ready to govern ourselves. Like what you see, we freed, instead of coming back to this country, is going to report President Paul Biya to Emmanuel Macron and give wrong information as per what the Minister of Communication.
Do you know that what is disturbing Cameroon today is because there are some people that if they don't talk, nobody has to talk. If you don't belong to that dans le cercle, it is needless for. So that is why it makes even sometimes some people look at themselves super from others in this country, and that is why this discrepancy has come, and today we are in war. I'll say Cameroon is in war because up north there is a Boko Haram. In the southern part of Cameroon we have unknown state armed men. Even in the central region, we've been hearing people carrying explosive and others. So it's worth something if we hear today that it is crossing over to the west region. It's high time for people to sit on the table and dialogue.
D'accord. L'actualité renseigne également sur la sécurité routière qui reste un problème avec beaucoup de questions. Eh bien, cette situation fait perdre au Cameroun des milliers de dollars, des milliers voilà, la perte en vie humaine d'abord. Maintenant, que faut-il faire pour arrêter la saignée?
It's always said the road does not kill.
Do you really share that information? You left Bamenda.
It is always said the road does not kill.
Why is Babaju road? Babaju Bamenda road.
You get it? It is
Kebua.
no.
You said the road does not kill. You
Sir,
left Bamenda.
Sir,
Yes.
permit me learn why I said the road does not kill.
Yes.
Okay.
The road is a way. Whether bumpy or tarred or whatsoever it is, as you are moving, you are moving. It is you, the user of that road. If you don't use the road very well, you are likely to be killed by that road. Now, let me tell you something. In
So
Cameroon,
are you saying that what is called National Road Number 3 or Yaoundé Douala Highway that kills almost on daily basis with a kind of small path?
Sir, it is because people don't want to put monies in constructing roads in Cameroon. And I call it greed. I call it people hate Cameroon. Those people hate Cameroon. And that is why we keep losing souls on our highway. There is another part, let me tell you. I've always talked about checkpoints on our highway. If money is that 500 these jandarms, I once used it in this platform that if the 500 that is collected in this country on our highways were being taken to a center bank, I mean, this country will be more
What
richer
about that of the
because we
what
will
about
use those
that
money
of the
for roads.
toll gate? You are talking about gendarme. What about toll gate?
No, for toll gates, it's fixed. We know it. We are talking about money that comes into people that are very illegal.
But the one for the toll gate is still mismanaged.
It's mismanaged, but we know exactly that one comes from a source. But the source that is illegal, that we even find today, a policeman will sit and decide to go to Nibum and take control, or decide to go behind my aid and take control, 2 of them. And at the end of it, souls have been lost that people caught them and they were killed.
Charles Kebua, you came from Bamenda, like I asked you. How is the situation with Bamenda Babaju stretch of road?
It's horrible.
But it is not
only, it is let us be honest, it is not only Bamenda Babaju. The roads within the city of Bamenda is a nightmare, it's hell.
But the city mayor was carried out.
And we are really crying that let government do something. The people of Bamenda need good roads. We need those roads now. For peace also to reign, because these are some of those things that make people get back.
The city mayor had broken some, some spaces in Bamenda with the hope of constructing the road. So what happened with the project that he initiated, he launched?
My good friend was doing some good work within himself there, but somewhere along the line, it seems as if the conception within it, you know,
were there not money, so he just got up one morning.
It was not breaking places. The whole thing. People are confused, and sometimes people will say, "Why can people not carry leaves and come and protest?" It is because the people, they themselves, they need good roads. If the people of Bamenda today have accepted their houses to be break down, or widen up the streets, and they are still quiet, it is because they still have hope. And if the people have hope, let this government sit up.
So I was asking about Bamenda Babaju stretch of road where Nganonjo Misi presented the situation in Yaoundé, talking about the execution rate. I'm asking because you used that road this morning.
Sir,
how is the road this morning?
Well, if you want to ask me how is the road, I will still tell you that the priority for the moment has been given to the West region. Work is ongoing at slow pace from the West region going down. Just the same like
so
some
the real places where vehicles used to stop.
It's still nightmare.
It's still the very situation.
Nightmare.
Vous avez l'habitude de voyager en tant qu'un journaliste. Quelle lecture pouvez-vous faire généralement sur les routes camerounaises?
I've said
comment sont-elles
our roads, the roads in Cameroon, it's a nightmare.
But they are not the ones that kill. The roads are not the ones that kill.
The roads in Cameroon are nightmare. And as the roads are nightmare, that is what kills Cameroonians while plying those highways. And like we will keep saying, it seems as if there are some Cameroonians that hate this country when it comes developing this country. And they pretend that they have the country.
You really think, Charles Kebua, that there is that money that some Cameroonians think that the people are embezzling, they don't want to construct the roads? Is it really that money?
So how can you really imagine that our Prime Minister will come to address us for peace and tell us, as I'm going back to Yaoundé, we'll have road in 4 days? Until today, months going.
No, but the Babaju stretch of road has started. That's what he promised.
No, he talked of the Bamenda. Please, the Bamenda man expect the roads. Not only the Bamenda Babaju road, but also the roads within the city of Bamenda. Why not even the ring road?
But that's the competence
for years
that
have been promised.
Mayor and the other mayors, the Bamenda 1, 2, 3.
When you meet the city mayor now, he tells you his hands are also tied, that he's waiting in Yaoundé. So who is the one holding the road works? Let the person open up and give people peace by giving them, disburse the money, let the road go on. We've heard about the World Bank. We've heard about African Development Bank. They are putting in money. Where have the government kept the money? It's high time, bring it. Do this work. Let people have peace.
Is it not your brothers or your brothers Anglophones who are sitting on the money? Don't you think they might be the ones?
I think I've not come here to point A or B or C.
You are saying where is the money, and the government tells
they know where the money is. Like my friend Fighter used to say, the kangaroo system. Let the kangaroo system, as Fighter used to say, let them sit up and do things and please Cameroonians.
Maintenant, est-ce que c'est seulement sur les routes interurbaines qu'on peut observer des manquements, ou bien on peut aussi le faire sur les routes intra-urbaines, c'est-à-dire dans les routes qui permettent la circulation, peut-être par exemple dans la ville de Bamenda, quel est l'état de ces routes et
That's what he was just talking about. The routes,
Voilà.
the routes within the
city
of
of Bamenda is hell.
horrible.
The road from Bamenda to Wum, my homeland, is hell. You cannot make it through by foot now. I was in Wum 2 weeks
mais
ago.
à qui la faute? Est-ce que la faute est à attribuer aux communautés ou bien aux maires élus?
Please.
Ouais.
There is a system in this country that needs to, you know,
Be straightened.
be straightened. Let's be honest. They need to straighten it. I'm not only crying Bamenda Wum Road. I'm also crying Bamenda
Charles Kebua,
Kumbo
have you had the
and Kambe.
opportunity to visit
I'm
other
crying the
regions?
road to Nigeria.
Have you had the opportunity to visit other regions? Have you been watching the news to see other regions? We saw Famindongo and the other ministers were blocked in their own center.
That is why I'm saying that it is not only the Northwest region. I have said there are some people in this country that it seems as if they know the country more. And those same people hate this country and they keep pretending. It's high time for them to sit up and make Cameroonians laugh.
Oui, on arrive peut-être déjà à la
Yes,
fin de l'émission.
and what are Cameroonians doing? Because if you vote people into power and they are not delivering, you have the mandate to remove them from power and allow other people to, who are competent, who are willing, who are patriotic to take over power. Why are Cameroonians only voting the same government, the same BS regime, and they are crying of bad rules? When elections come, they vote the same government.
What did I say at the beginning? That in a system, this system where we are, if you don't belong to that dangle circle, the circle, you cannot long. And that is the very thing that has destroyed the Northwest elite. They cannot unite themselves and talk. It's difficult for an elite now in the Northwest to go up and talk to the population because they belonged to a system. And the opposition is also there now, opening its eyes and is watching what will come. So we are saying, and we'll keep pleading that it's high time those who know they have Cameroon at heart should turn from the ill way and build Cameroon back through prayers.
Charles Kebua, what is your message to the people, the population of the Northwest watching you this time at this moment?
Yeah, quite interesting. It's really an opportunity.
You can even address to the ambassador.
No, it's really an opportunity. No, they are following me. We are all friends. They're following me out there. Let's be honest. It's high time for us to bring back the much cherished peace that we've lost for 6 good years, getting to the 7th year. It's high time for us Northwesterners to come back, reason what we've lost in the past, how we will from now hence build it. It's high time for you the other way, the non-state armed men, to also think of your brothers whom you carry them to bush, that were you to protect them or were you to molest them? Think of it yourself. And if you have a good question, I will use this medium to appeal not only the fort of Bambalang, but that all, whoever is in captivity, please free them. Please free them. And to the state, please call these people on the table. Let that true dialogue form take its place and make Cameroonians happy and reinstate peace in this country, in the Northwest and the Southwest region.
Thank you, Charles Kebua. You are the regional boss of my media prime for the Northwest region. Thank you very much for coming. And we wish you a safe trip back to the troubled Northwest. I put it that way, troubled.
Well, we are there. I would just also want to use this medium to also appreciate the parents who've been doing so much to ensure that the children go to school. The children are back now, most of them on holidays. Please, parents, make sure you guard these children as they are back at home. While they are at home, do something that you occupy them. While occupying them, you also as a parent, do everything now that within this short time, let's keep the little one that next academic year, we should be sure that we send them back to school and, have a bright academic year, especially in the no-so zones.
Thank you. Thank you, televiewers of my Media Prime TV, for watching this very first edition of the program for the week. which was produced for us by Kebua, Desmond. We were Etape, Kante, and myself, Lasha Kingsley. See you tomorrow for yet another edition of What the Papers Must Have Said. Bye-bye.
My Media Prime TV, the African Eye. In the house, your talk show.
Hello there, beautiful people. Many thanks for joining us on